America, it's Phil Korz, and it's just me.
Country working with Exploding Head Theory. He's worked with Jerry Seinfeld, George Wallace. He is filming his comedy special tonight. It's Just Me. Are you guys ready? Let's get up for Phil Korz, everybody!
From New York. So something weird happened to me the other day. I was talking to a stranger, a woman I'd never met before. She was eating a macadamia nut cookie. And in the middle of our conversation, one of the nuts from the cookie floated from her mouth into the air and landed right on my lip. She knew it happened. I knew it happened. I didn't want to make it weird, but I did. Because my initial reaction was, I swiped that nut, chewed it, and swallowed it from another woman's mouth. How do you continue the conversation after that? What's up, everybody? I'm Phil Korz. Thank you so much for coming out. Give it up for Marie and Matt and my super friends that are supportive. This is the filming of my first special, so I'm so happy you guys are here. But there are some special guests in the audience, and I'm looking right at them, and it's my parents. So, you guys are going to learn a lot about my family. So, Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry. So sorry, that's just the way it is. But I actually heard you laugh at a porn joke, Mom. I heard a porn joke, and I heard your laugh at everyone else, so everything's free reign right now. I just made the news, and I don't really know how I feel about it. My parents love Disney World. They love everything about it. Of course. They can't even drink their morning coffee unless it's in a Mickey mug. So for Mother's Day, I decided to paint a giant Mickey Mouse in my parents' backyard. Word spread through social media, and the news wanted to interview me. Hashtag famous, what's up? So I had to have a perfect speech. And what I wanted to say was, I'm an aspiring comedian. My parents have truly supported me in my dreams. So to thank them, I painted their favorite Disney character in the backyard. Nice, simple, sweet. This was the first time a big-ass camera was in my face, and that just changed the whole scenario. Because I froze up. I forgot all my lines, and I yelled at this reporter. I said, I used my hands to paint Disney things in my parents' backyard. Saying paint is for comedy. What? Okay, I'm gonna have to do that again. Do you mind if I try that again?
Yes.
No sooner did I say that did the woman pull out her cell phone. Accident on 95? Kid, we gotta go. What? This is my first shot at fame, at stardom, and that's what comes out of my mouth? But it's okay, because they have editing tricks. They're not gonna make me look like an idiot on TV. So my friends, family, everyone is so excited for me to be on the news. And the headlines of the news says, autistic kid pays for parents. That is not the kind of publicity that I wanted, really. I actually just got back from Disney, where I've spent every vacation of my life. Thank you guys so much for that. My parents took me to Disney when I was 7 years old, and I loved it. Loved everything about it. But they haven't taken me anywhere else since. Do you know how many times it takes to ride the It's a Small World ride without wanting to kill yourself? The answer is once. And I don't have the heart to tell them that I grew out of this years ago. But man, does it suck. And all my friends are sending me their pictures of their all-inclusive vacations to Cabo. Meanwhile, I'm the only 26-year-old trapped in the Magic Kingdom following my parents in matching Mickey ears and fanny packs. My dad's rocking the sandals with the socks.
Go Dad!
He looks like my balding gay aunt. My mom's wearing her pants so high they double as a sports bra. I have a very attractive family, I do. I've been to Disney so many times, I managed to memorize the speech they give at the beginning of every single ride. Please be seated to the magic carpet is coming. Please stop. Please also grab all small children by the hand. We're not responsible for any lost or unsubscribed. Have a magical day at Disney World. Por favor, y tenga ese bienvenidos en sus casas, mágica perfecta, por favor, también estamos socios, humanos, sus subjectos, es vestido, tenga una de mágica in Disney World. Point is, I've been there a lot. I don't really need Rosetta Stone. Just go to Disney.
So my parents came tonight, which was awesome, but the very first time they saw me on stage was not my best performance ever. So I see my aunt wave at her, do that little what's up thing, but I look behind her and my grandparents and my parents are sitting right there. And I lost everything that I wanted to say, every ounce of confidence that I had, everything that I was dreaming of. I forgot all my words, all my lines. And I get up on stage and the first thing that comes out of my mouth in front of my poor grandparents and parents were, I fucked a pussy. I kept saying fucking pussy for no reason. I had no jokes, no nothing. First time I ever bombed, first and last time I ever bombed. And it was a terrible time. My parents came up to me, they're like, maybe you should do something else with your life. And so it was tough, but then a couple weeks later I was like, got my stride back. And I was like, you know what guys, like, this is my dream, this is my life, why don't you come to a show? So they came to a show, and when I knew they were there, I did my material, and they're like, okay, you're pretty funny, so it ended up working out.
You know, come to think about it, I didn't even enjoy Disney when I was a little kid. Because believe it or not, I was a porker growing up. I was a big kid. And do you know what happens when you're in the 90-degree hot sun and your chubby little leg fat slaps together all day? What happens? You chafe. You chafe. Have you ever chafed before with a little skinny ass? Let me tell you what, after the show, I want you to take sandpaper and just scrape the first 6 layers of skin in between your thighs. Then I want you to go to Disney World and tell me how magical it is. Because when you're the only 8-year-old hopping around the Magic Kingdom like a 90-year-old woman in a grocery store because your legs are on fire, it burns, it burns. Guys, wait up, I want Goofy's autograph too. Come on, Mom. I told you 1,000 times, how could you forget the baby powder? It burned so bad. Baby powder was my savior. I needed baby powder every single day. It didn't matter what I was doing. If I was going to t-ball practice, sleepovers, going upstairs, I'm like, yeah, looks like I'll need it for this. But you know, the only thing that putting baby powder on did was it kick-started my fat boy urges, because made my balls look like yummy little munchkin donuts. So. Just made me kind of hungry. What made me angry was the people that I thought I could trust lied to me. When I would ask, Mom, am I fat? She would give me some bullcrap answer. Like, no, Philly, you're not fat, just don't eat 6 pieces of pizza next time. I'm gonna prove this point. Mom, was I a fat kid growing up?
No, you were husky.
Husky? That's the crap I'm talking about. Well, Mom, I'm sorry to inform you, but huskies are lovable northern bred dogs that are adorable. Nobody wanted to cuddle with my 6 chins and no neck. I would hear, oh, it's baby fat. It's baby fat. 19 years old. What do you mean? Am I a turtle? My the meanest in my family was my sister. She would come up to me, she's like, Bill, you wanna know why you're fat? You wanna know why you're fat? Because there's a baker living under your bed and he feeds you cupcakes at night. Do you know how much that messed me up as a kid? Going to bed every single night like, no, please, no more cupcakes, I'm gonna take it. I woke up one morning, my sister put crumbs under my bed. I'm like, damn it, you got me again. You got me again. I'm running away. I can't take the stupid baker and the stupid cupcakes. It's me packing. I was so mad. And I wanted to run away. I was so tired of this baker. So I packed all my things in a pink Snow White suitcase. It was the first thing I could find, because it was the only one with wheels. But I was the smartest, most prepared kid who ever ran away. I packed snacks, clothes, money, toys,
I even packed a toy gun just in case someone wanted to rob me. Because chubby little kid with glitter and tassels on his suitcase just screams, "Mug me." I'm out. I took this suitcase. I get to the, damn, I don't remember a driveway being this long. I get to the end of the block. I forgot the powder. Chafing already. Plus I ran out of snacks. Apparently 2 Slim Jims and some Gushers were not enough to get me across the country. But, you know, I was determined. I was determined that this was my new life. I was done with his stupid baker and his stupid ways. So I was out, right? So needless to say, I made it home for dinner. But, you know, but it's okay. I was a fat kid. It's all right. Everyone should embrace their fat kid. I was a fat kid growing up. And the fat kid's never going to die. He's never going to die. Because my favorite band growing up was Meatloaf. My first erection was in a grocery store. Frozen foods. On one Halloween, I didn't have a costume, so I just went as a shed. I ended up going to the gym and losing 100 pounds. I went to the gym, I was like, you know what? Turns out it really was just baby fat. I realized I do have babies attached to my head. But I was so motivated to help other people that I got a job as a personal trainer. Yeah! And and I had this vision as a trainer to train ambitious teenagers going into the military, aspiring athletes who want to play professional sports, grandparents who just want to get healthy to play with their grandkids. And MILFs. I wanted to train MILFs. I'm looking right at you, yep. To be surrounded by happy, sexy, vivacious women, living every boy's fantasy to be training hot, sweaty, agile cougars. It was the dream. But I realized something. Those MILFs never needed my help. They never came to me. The MILFs that I got were not moms I like to fornicate. They were miserable, insatiably lonely females. What I got were the deeply troubled, emotionally scarred, mentally abused, insecure, apprehensive, anxious, uneasy, unhappy, uptight, confused, schizophrenic, bipolar, the displeased, disconnected, disappointed, depressed, distressed, dissatisfied, desperate, diabetic, divorcee, middle-aged women needing a constant reassurance with a giant mole on their face with a hair coming out of it. And that was my Monday morning client. The rest were sassy black women. It was There's only so much of a sassy black woman you can ever take. But I got myself into interesting situations as a trainer. This one time, this client took me to the mall to show me what she wanted to fit into by summer. She leads me to the dressing room with a bathing suit in her hand. She said, this is what I want to fit into by summer. And I look at her with confidence and I say, you know what? As God, as my witness, and as your personal trainer, you will fit in that dressing room by summer. That was funny. I grew up in a very conservative, religious home. So obviously I wasn't allowed to cuss growing up, which makes sense. But what makes me angry was this whole other list of arbitrary words that I wasn't allowed to say that weren't offensive to the church, or anyone for that matter. But because they were offensive to my mother, I had to treat them like they were offensive to Jesus himself. And I was conditioned at a very young age that my mom must be the actual gateway to Jesus himself. So I couldn't say shut up, I couldn't say sucked, I couldn't even say the word fart. My mom wouldn't even let me watch Jackass because of the title. But
my mom had alternatives for these words. Ass was hiding. Shut up was be quiet. Sucks was stinks, but fart. My mom made me say Fritzy instead. It smells like Fritzy in here. It smells Fritzy. Did you Fritzy? Fritzy, Fritzy, Fritzy. Do you know how many times I got beat up on the playground for saying that? And you would think that the Fritzy reign of terror would end when I turned 18. No. See, what happens when you train a kid to say a dumbass word in their adolescence, it embeds itself in your subconscious. It comes out when you're 23 years old in the locker room full of dudes yelling, okay, who fucking Fritzy? Stinks in here.
First show as a professional comedian, I have to give you a little backstory first because I met the woman by the name of Jessa Reed when I was a personal trainer. I was a personal training manager at Retro Fitness, and she came up to my desk and she's like, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds before I go on tour. And I'm like, are you a singer? I'm like, what do you do? She's like, I'm a professional comedian. And I was like, holy crap, I will train you for free if you get me in the comedy world. And she's like, deal. So I trained her as many times she wanted to in the week, and then I would go to her house afterwards and she would help take all the material that I've been writing in high school and college, and she really molded it and helped me find my voice, helped me find my stage presence, and really helped me become an actual professional. So she put me on a cancer benefit in Delaware, and there's about 400 people there. I did 20 minutes for the first time, and it was the most incredible experience of my life. That was the moment that I knew that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Another thing that wasn't discussed, definitely not permitted in the Christian conservative household, were any activities of the masturbatory nature, which doesn't actually deter teenage boys from participating in those activities. It just forces teenage boys to be more strategic when executing those activities. I was the James Bond of jerking off. I would sneak a Reba when my parents were most distracted, which is when they watched the show Reba. Yes, Reba. Anyone know what it is? For those of you who don't know, Reba McEntire has her own comedy show, and it's actually pretty funny, but I could pull myself away to sneak a Reba. My parents loved watching the show. They watched it every Friday night. Every Friday night was their time. They watched Reba. My mom would drink some wine. My dad would rub her legs. My mom even took her socks off. It got kinky and weird. I was just really happy that they were very much distracted watching Reba. My parents never understood why I got so excited for Reba to come on and then never watch it with me. I would hear the theme song and yell, Reba! And run downstairs. Does anyone know the theme song? Anyone in here? Any country artists? No one can help me out? It goes like, my roots are planted in the past. Ooh, my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. I'm a survivor. Yeah, I can't hear that song without getting an erection. So. My strategy had a 99% success rate. It took me years to perfect, but that 1% can really do a lot of damage to your track record, that's for sure. So I'm downstairs, I hear, I'm a survivor. I got 23 minutes. So when it came time to for the finale, stops were my method of catching and discarding my fluid. Don't judge me, everyone has their method. I look down and I'm barefoot. So frantically searching the immediate area. I don't want to mess up the keyboard. The carpets were just steamed. Ooh, coffee mug, perfect. Oh no. Okay, now let's rewind for a second, okay? I don't just do
that in a coffee mug. That's not what I do. That's disgusting. That's gross. But I only had about 0.2 milliseconds to make a decision before those credits were rolling, so cheers. Fail dog, anyone? Just let that resonate for a second. But as I set the cup down, I realized that it's my dad's favorite coffee mug with Mickey Mouse saying "World's Greatest Dad" written right on it. What? Are you? I can't believe I just did that to his cup. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What do I do? Do I throw it away? Do I throw away my dad's favorite coffee mug? No. Do I wash it? Is that worse? Here, Dad. Meet your grandkids. So you know what? I just need to grab the cup, clean it, and hide it for now. That's my best solution I got. So I grabbed this cup to rinse my shame out of it, and as I turned around, my dad is standing in the doorway, gaping at me, clearly disappointed. And we had a conversation without words for what felt like 3 hours. I don't know, I blacked out. But that entire time, I had so many questions. I'm like, oh my god, how long has he been standing there? Like, does he know what's on the computer? Does he know what's in the cup? Why is he watching a rerun? Was it a rerun? Did the TV start recording? Oh yeah, my dick's out. Holding the jizz cup. That answered all of my questions. My dad turned around and in true dad fashion went upstairs, but I wanted to avoid my dad at all costs. I didn't want to see him ever. But apparently my dad was trying to avoid me too, because next day he was supposed to take me to wrestling practice. My mom's like, "Hey Billy, you're gonna have to find a ride to wrestling. Your dad's gonna work in the garden this morning." Oh really? That's funny because we've never had a garden before. So weird. So random. I actually hit the cup until I graduated college. And when I came home, there was 2 little baby espresso cups sitting right next to it. So this entire Reba experience led to my dad and I to have the most awkward birds and the bees speech in history. Mainly because my dad's not really good with emotion or words, so he comes up to me and he awkwardly puts his arm around me and I'm on the computer and he's like, son, you're at the age where, you may be attracted to the opposite female, and when you have urges, you're going to have blood there, and there's going to be urge, and all the blood's going to go there. All the blood's going to go there. And you might have an urge to stick it where they pee, but he grabs my elbow, kisses me on the forehead. Condoms, son, condoms is what I'm saying.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Explains my Disney news speech. I know where I got it now. I can thank you for that. It really messed me up talking to girls in college. I would awkwardly put my arm around them, but hey, I think you're really cute, and we have urges together, but I have to pee and condoms. I still have those condoms, I do. I just found out that I'm going to be an uncle. Don't clap, listen to this shit. Apparently my sister didn't really take the sex talk that well, but my sister lives in Indiana, and so she's FaceTiming my parents and I. Right, she goes up to her stove, opens it, there's a bun in the oven. My sister's just like, guess what? Guess what? My mom goes, Felicia, your stove is so dirty. It's so dirty. No, Mom, what is in there? What's in there? What's in there? She's like, is that a biscuit? Mom, it's a hamburger bun in the oven. Hamburger bun in the oven. She's like, are you guys having hamburgers? Mom, they're pregnant. She's pregnant. Mom, she is pregnant. Jeez. She's like, why didn't you just say so? So, my mom asked, how far are you in? And my sister said, 6 weeks.
First try?
Wait, 6 weeks ago you stayed in my bedroom when you came home for Christmas. How do you explain that? That's some crap. So my mom and I are driving to Korz to get new sheets, and there's a car in front of us with a bumper sticker that says, "I heart Great Roadhead." And my mom is staring at this bumper sticker. She is staring at it. She finally leans in. She's like, "Philly, what's Roadhead? What is it?" What do you say to your Christian mother when she asks you what's Roadhead? You better think of something fast, because I had to. I lied my ass off. I was like, "Ma, it's just when you're driving and you have a really great idea." That's what it is. And it was forgotten about till my grandfather's retirement party. And my mom's giving the speech. She ends her speech with, "My father's company wouldn't be where it is today without my father's hard work ethic and probably a lot of Roadhead." And that was hilarious to me because that woman made me say Fritzy my whole life. So. She still doesn't get it. She's like, "What? It was a good speech." To be honest, I'm a little nervous to be in a bar tonight. Every time I go to a bar, some dude tries to pick a fight with me. Because I'm big, people assume that I like to fight. Which is a reasonable assumption. I do give the typical douchebag vibe. Big muscles, tight shirt, little dick. But the issue is, I've never been in a fight in my life. And all my friends are like, "Yo, it's so cool. Yo, if something goes down, we got Phil here. We got Phil. Phil's got our back." No, I don't. Because I suffer from this disease, this sickness called, I'm a pussy. So they don't make vaccinations for being a little bitch. That's for sure. Fortunately for me, the guys that want to fight the big guys at the bar are not very smart. Now, I'm not claiming that I am the sharpest tool in the chandelier. I'm just saying they're easily confused. So picture this situation. I'm at the bar. This guy comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, you looking at my girl?" And without hesitation, I stood up. I'm like, "You are damn right I was looking at your girl. Let's take this outside." Apparently, when someone tries to fight me, I turn into a sassy black woman. So I don't know what I'm doing. But I go outside, right? And this guy's a tough guy, so he takes his shirt off. I want to confuse him, so I take my pants off. I'm like, "What's up? You want some of this? You want some of this now, huh?" He's about to throw a punch. Instead of getting my ass kicked, I lean in with a little tickle. And while he's standing there trying to figure out what the hell just happened, I made a run for it. Which backfired when I got arrested for indecent exposure. But, I don't even understand the need to pick a fight anyway. Especially with someone who looks like they can fight. That's why I only start shit with people who physically can't reach me. Like bank tellers, drive-through window attendants, the guy in the urinal with his dick in his hand. Now technically that guy can reach me, but he's leaving with wet pants, that's for sure. I like to mess with that guy by whispering sweet nothings in his ear. "You have beautiful earlobes." Just to creep him out a bit. Which is all fun and games until the 9-year-old black kid whips out a dick that's longer than a 7-course meal at Olive Garden. Oh. I'm sorry, did your dick just growl at me? Now I'm in the awkward situation because I'm looking, but I don't want it, but it's just swaying in the wind. Somehow in that situation, I pissed myself and still got punched in the face. Probably doesn't help the fact that I was in Disney World when that happened. And that joke really makes me sound like a pedophile. Great, awesome. Hide your kids, hide your coffee mugs, Phil's in town.
It's a whole different ball game of comedy. It's just, I mean, you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes there's foreigners, or sometimes there's a full crowd. Sometimes there's 4 people in the audience, but people don't see the fact that as a working comedian, this is the shows that you do. These shows that are bar shows and that have 6 people in the audience are the ones that you make your living by. And it's just so crazy because you can go tour the country, you can go to professional comedy clubs, but when you're in New York, if you are a working comic, you're doing the small back hole venues that no one thinks of, but like that's how you do, that's how you get better, and that's what's all part of the grind of being a comedian. I just finished training a client, and I said to her, I was like, listen, I'm so proud of you. You're losing weight. You're overcoming everything in your past, and I'm just so happy for you. And she took that as, I'm gonna kiss you right in the middle of the gym. I pull away right away. I'm like, listen, I can't do this. I can't do this. And she's like, oh, you're not attracted to me because of my weight, just like my ex-husband. I said, no, no, no. Like, you're my client. This is so unprofessional. I could lose my job. Actually, it was that mole hair. It went on my nose and it freaked me out. So she was like, listen, okay, I understand that, but can I at least take you out to dinner to thank you for everything that you've done? I'm like, okay, sounds normal enough. She ends up drinking the whole bottle of wine when we're at dinner. So I'm driving home. She's sitting there all drunk and loopy, and she looks at me and she's like, can't wait to have some fun with you later. I heard that one before, and I don't know about this already. And she was just like, she was sitting there and she's like, but I can't wait any longer. Lunges over the center console, tries to rip my pants off. And I'm fighting this woman to keep my pants on, and she's strong. I've been training her for the last 6 months. She's strong as shit. So I'm fighting. And she finally looks up with tears coming out of her eyes and mascara running all down her face. And she's like, I knew it. I knew you weren't attracted to me. And I'm like, no. We've been through this. You're my client. I could lose my... Until I hear from the radio, my roots are planted in the past. But she's your client. Ooh, my life is changing fast. But it is protein. Who I am is who I wanna be. Alright, Alice Cooper. I'm a survivor. Now, that was some great Roadhead. I'm so Korz, everyone. Thank you. I want you to say thank you. This is my dream. I'm living my dream. I'm filming the special, so I did a whole tour across the country with this film crew, and we've been all over the place: South Carolina, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, St. Louis, California. It's been an awesome, crazy experience, and it just like means a lot to me that you guys are all here. One more quick joke. I'm a big fan of cheesy jokes. I just want to tell him this cheesy joke.
Do it.
So there's this frog. He's sitting on a lily pad. And he sees this rabbit running. And he's just like, why are you running? Rabbit goes, don't stop me now. I'm being chased by a bear. The frog sees the bear. And he's like, listen, if you stop chasing this rabbit, I'll grant you both 3 wishes. So they both agree. And the bear goes first. He's like, I wish for all the bears in this forest to be women except for me. So he got his wish. Rabbit goes, I wish for a motorcycle helmet. He got his wish. Bear takes his second wish. He's like, I wish for all the bears in this forest and the next forest to be women except for me. So he got his wish. Rabbit goes, I wish for a motorcycle. He got his motorcycle. Bear takes his third and final wish, and he's like, I wish for all the bears in the entire world to be women except for me. And he got his wish. Well, the rabbit starts driving off, and the frog was like, whoa, wait, you have one more wish. Rabbit stops, thinks about it for a second, he's like, I wish for the bear to be gay. Thank you guys so much.
Let's get some pictures. pictures. Let's have a good time. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you next time.
So the reason why I chose the title "It's Just Me" is because that phrase, that simple phrase, has so much meaning to me. It's ridiculous. I met the love of my life when I was 14 years old, and we hit it off. It was incredible. She was the first girl to move into a neighborhood full of hormone-ridden teenage boys, and we're all trying to talk to this girl, but none of us had any game. All of us were 13, 14 years old, and so we would all pile in my treehouse and just like kind of spy on her. Like, we're like, what's she doing? What's she doing? Who's going to be the one to talk to her first? And so I was convinced that I was going to talk to her first. So one day after school, I look out of my parents' bedroom window and I see that she's having a pool party. And I'm like, I call my best friend in the world, Wheaties. I was like, yo, I was like, she's having a pool party. We got to be the first ones in there. Let's make a plan. So he comes to my treehouse and we're like, ah, man, how are we going to talk to these girls? How are we going to get over there? And one of the girls from the party, her name is Monica, she looked over at the treehouse and she was like, hey, there's someone in that treehouse. And we're like, we're caught, we're frozen, we're like, we don't even know what to say. My neighbor Priscilla was like, why don't you guys come over? So we both agreed, we both looked at each other, we're like, we're both 16, we both drive fast cars, whatever we gotta do to, like, you know, make our name good or whatever. So we go over and we end up having an awesome time. My dad calls me over as a school night and he was like, you gotta come in, get ready for school. But that night Priscilla and I, my neighbor, like connected so well. And ever since then, after that, she would come to my house every single day, and she would never even ring my doorbell. She would come in, open the door, and yell, "It's just me," just so my parents knew that it wasn't anyone robbing us. It was always her. But that was something that I look forward to every single day. I got off of school an hour before she did, so that hour I knew that she was going to come over, and I looked forward to it so much. And I would wait to hear, "It's just me," and it was so meaningful to me just to hear that, because that's when I knew that the fun was going to start, and then we were going to hang out. And she was truly the love of my life. The start of her senior summer, we went to my buddy Eric's house for just, you know, we watched a movie. Nobody was drinking, there was no drugs. It was just a fun time. And it came close to Priscilla's curfew. Her curfew was 11 o'clock, and if she was late, even 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, she was grounded. So we couldn't start off her senior summer with her being grounded. So Eric gets in the car, Priscilla's in the front, I'm in the back, and that is the last thing that I remember out of that night. The next thing I know, I wake up in a hospital 3 days later, not knowing where I was or how I got there, but I knew that something was wrong, something didn't feel right. My whole family was in the room and everyone was upset, everyone was crying, and my sister comes up to me and she tells me, she was like, I could tell that she wanted to hold me, she wanted to hug me, but she couldn't because I was surrounded by all these wires and tubes. And she takes my hand ever so slightly and she says, "Phil, you were in a car accident and Priscilla didn't make it." So for a while I was numb. I didn't feel anything. You know, people kept telling me how lucky I was to be alive and how lucky I was to be here, but I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel lucky at all. And that emptiness quickly turned into sadness when one day I was sitting by my computer and I hear this beautiful voice say, "It's just me." And it all came together for me as just like, you know what, that's the voice that I listen to every single day, and that's what I look forward to every single day, and I'm never going to hear that voice again. And that's when I got upset. I didn't understand why I was still here or why anything was happening. Everyone kept telling me how lucky I was, but I was like, I didn't feel lucky. I just lost the one person that I've ever fell in love with to a car accident. So I didn't feel that way. And so a year went by and I didn't talk about it with anyone. I didn't talk to my friends, I didn't talk to my family, but I hid behind a fake smile every single day because I didn't want anyone to know anything was wrong. But deep down, like, I didn't want to wake up in the morning because the person that I cared about the most wasn't going to be there. So for a while it was tough. I didn't know why I was here and I didn't understand. I was 16 at this point and I was trying to have the best time of my life. You're supposed to have the best time of your life in college or in high school, and I wasn't. I was miserable every single day. It was just like, damn, I'm still awake, I'm still here. Like, it was awful. So I never wanted to talk about it with my family or friends, but I was getting to a point where I was very fed up with life. I was very fed up with everything that was going on, and I was just like, why am I still here? So regardless of if there's a God, if there's not. But I broke down on my knees and I said, God, why am I still here? And I was in tears, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I'm miserable. Every single day is just like not what I want it to be. Like, why would I worship, or why like follow somebody who promised me all the desires of my heart, but when you took the only desire that I ever had? So that angered me. Like, why would I follow this religion? But I was so angry and I was so misled that I had really missed all the miracles that had happened through this accident. I was supposed to go to Boston for this youth group field trip, and I didn't even want to go. I was so done with religion, I was so done with God, I was so done with everything. But it was the night before I read this story. It was called Footprints. So for those of you who don't know the story of Footprints, this man was walking on the beach and he saw stories of his life flash to the sky, and through the stories there was always two sets of footprints, one for him, one for God. And he always he looked at that and he was like, he noticed that in the happy times of his life there's always two sets of footprints, one for him, one for God. But then he noticed in the saddest times of his life, the hardest times, the hardships, there's only one set of footprints. And that angered the man. He went up to God and he was like, God, I'm looking at my life here, and the times when I needed you the most, you abandoned me. I needed you when I was sad. I needed you when this pain was so much I couldn't take it. But where were you for that when there's only one set of footprints here? And God looked at the man and he said, son, I didn't leave you for those times I carried you. And that last line just like stuck with me. For those times I didn't leave you, for those times I carried you. So that brought a whole new hope to my life. And I'm like, you know what, maybe there is a reason why I'm still here. The paramedics said that if I was in that car for 5 more minutes than what I was, I would have been dead on the scene. So there has to be some reason why I'm still here. And that night, right before I was about to go to Boston, I decided, I was like, I'm ready to talk about this. I'm still here. I have hope. I have something. I don't know what it is, but there's some reason why I'm still here. So I went to Boston and I spoke in front of about 400 people. And I told my whole story, my testimony about how I just, I was in this car accident and I really lost hope, but I feel like there's so much more, there's so much love, and there's so much that I want to express that I never was able to before. And my parents were there, my youth group was there, and after the whole speech, it wasn't one person here or one person here, it was literally a simultaneous standing ovation. And people came up to me after the show and they were like, your story changed my life. Like, I just lost my brother, I just lost my mother, lost my girlfriend, boyfriend, and like hearing what you went through and what you want to do with your life and how you want to change your life just like gave me new hope. And that was just like such a magical thing to hear, that like just whatever I went through, all that pain, all that other stuff, like I was able to change someone else's life and give them new hope and new happiness. So I started speaking in churches. I was traveling around. I went to Salisbury, I went to Maryland, well, Salisbury's in Maryland, but went to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and I was just like this 17-year-old traveling preacher just sharing my testimony. And so, but it made me realize that, that saying, it's just me, is so close to my heart, and I know that she's my guardian angel, and I know that she's supporting me for everything that I do. So that is like what I live by, is it's just me. But the cool part of the story is that when I moved to Hollywood, California, one of the first people I ever met was the ambassador of Guam, which I didn't even know was a thing, but he was awesome. We were talking, we were drinking at the bar, and he was a cool guy. And he was just asking me about my career. I was asking him about his career, and he was like, listen, he was like, I don't know much about comedy, but I am a businessman. He was like, let me help you out business-wise. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, well, first of all, let me see your business card. And at the time, I only had Phil Korz Comedy and then a blank side on the other side. He's like, well, why don't you give people a reason to turn this over? Put something on the back. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, well, what kind of comedy do you do? And I say, I'm a storyteller. I tell stories about my life, and I try to make it funny for everyone else. He's like, okay. So he's like, you need a tagline that people are going to remember you by. And without having any knowledge of my past, my history, he was like, it's just me. He was like, that's your tagline. And whole body was covered in the chills, and I was like, you know what? That's what I'm doing. It's just me.